Hey everybody, it's Matt Johnson. We are back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. Thank you so much for joining us. I am back with the co-pilot. The junior grandmaster himself is with me, but I'm going to make him shut up for a second. I know he loves it when I start off the show like that. I'm not even letting the camera view focus on him. It's great. Just just right here on Spotlight's on me. So while we wait for people to join us live, we are so excited because we have no guest. We're talking about the 3 things that hold you back and how to overcome them. So we're going to talk about lack of money, lack of leads, lack of knowledge. And those are the 3 things we're each going to talk about. We're each going to give our own perspective on how to overcome those obstacles. I will, as usual, wildly disagree with Greg on virtually everything and yell at him throughout the show. And I
will make fun of Matt, his fat babies, and his lazy ass wife.
That's right.
Why not? I always win. Oh, by the way, what are the 3 things we're talking about that we don't have?
Money, leads, and knowledge.
Oh, the 3 things you don't have. Right. Okay. Gotcha. So. Oh my God. Okay. Dude, you gotta check this out, man. I don't know what is going on out there, but I am getting blown up. I am so busy responding to everybody that's out there that's reaching out to me. Guys, I love it. Keep it coming. Not too much though. Seriously, I gotta sell a few houses around here, okay? But leading into that, dude, today, so I woke up in just a shit mood. Like, I just wanted to throat punch somebody, go back to bed and drink a beer, scratch my ass, fart, roll over, and just not wake up. Okay. Well, what happened is I was in my office in a crap mood. I had a couple of people reaching out to me, hey dude, don't hit people. I'm like, fuck you. And all of a sudden my day started turning around on an epic level, dude. Josh Bryan's listening to us in his car, big pink boom. He's probably like, hi guys. Sorry, Josh. But what happened today, dude, is I got 2 referrals out of the blue from doing the Facebook Live stuff, guys.
Awesome. Straight up. Into the lead gen scripts and objections group.
Yeah, lead gen scripts.
Good, man.
Yeah. This is gonna be good. I can't talk, and I even drank my carrot juice, Matt.
That's all right. I drank enough coffee for the both of us, so don't worry. I'll be on point today. All right. So while we wait for people to join us live, if you're watching the replay here on YouTube, make sure to hit subscribe, and then if you want the audio version nestled between your ears, where we so belong.
So good.
All right.
So deep.
God damn, I gotta turn your mic down. All right. Make sure to go over to iTunes or Stitcher and subscribe to either one of those, depending on your device. For those of you that are following me on one of the many channels, or if you've just watched the show, you know that I am an avid Android user, but I have been dragged kicking and screaming into the 21st century. Yes. I am now the semi-proud owner of an iPhone 6s Plus.
Yeah, show everybody your new toy. Come on.
Somewhere over there. I don't know. Anyway.
That's why it's
I try not to keep it around when I'm working because it's distracting. It is a 100% distraction device.
So when you see this, you're like automatically offended. You're like, throw the iPhone. I'm like, what is this doing in my house?
That's right. I don't have a case for it. I just have a pillow wrapped around it so that when I throw it, it doesn't break.
Oh God.
Yeah. Anyway. So that's my big news. I got back from Podcast Movement in Chicago. Had a great week last week, hanging out with my girl in both Omaha and Chicago out there. Greg, how was your week last week?
It was good. I didn't have to see you. Yeah. I got to. Actually, I kind of missed you, to tell you the truth. I'm like, where's my buddy, man? I want to hang out and do cool shit and talk on a podcast. And nope, I had to refrain. It was hard. I went to therapy. He was a very kind doctor. Only probed once. But no, it was a good week, dude. It was a good week. A lot of stuff was taking place, all positive things. You and I were making some massive headway in our new adventure that we're bringing out with Aaron. I can't talk about it right now, but
stuff in the works. Yeah, I wish we could talk about this stuff because it's exciting, but yeah.
It is exciting. Now you just leave us. No, never mind. I'm not going to go there yet.
All right. Well, let's get to a question here before we dive into some other stuff. And I know you got a bunch of shout-outs because we didn't really get a chance to do that last week. But here from the Lead Gen Scripts and Objections Facebook group, speaking of that group, so Aaron Gates Carlton asks, when you guys do your scripts, do any of you use scripts that use the client's name, as in asking for the person listed in the lead? So, Greg, what say you?
I'm dyslexic, Matt. That is a tragic disaster when I've tried this because I'll be like, hi, is this Bartholomew? And you'd be like, no, this is Matt. I'm like, oh, how did I get that wrong?
Okay.
No, but seriously, I would totally butcher
your name. Common mistake. People call me Bart all the time.
So close in the alphabet too.
Yeah.
But no, so seriously, what I do is I just fuck that up one side and write down the other. So after having people legitimately get pissed because I didn't pronounce their name correctly, I just say, hi, my name is Greg McDaniel. I'm a real estate agent here in the area. I just go lead in right in with that. Or if it's a property, maybe, hi, is this the owner of 4622 Maple Street by chance? Yeah. Oh, hey, great. Hey, my name is Greg McDaniel. I've seen Aaron do that a lot on his live shows. Dude, it works phenomenally. So I started doing it. It works extremely well if you're following up on people that are thinking about maybe selling their home. But I know, so I don't know.
Interesting. So you just bypass it completely and it doesn't really matter. Yeah,
it gives me an opportunity. I can be like, so I'm sorry, I missed. What was your first name? Oh, my name is Matt. Oh, great. I had Bartholomew. I'll make a note there.
That's right. Well, we were talking about this before we went on the air, and I was joking around about the fact that I hate when people use my name, like sprinkled liberally into the conversation. And
Matt, I understand, Matt.
Yes. Yes. Same thing with emails, by the way. I'm not a big fan of the auto population where they populate your email, your name into their freaking stock email. That really irritates me too. And half the time they put in Matthew, and nobody's called Matthew since my mom called me that when I was 5 years old, and I told her to knock it off.
And then if you get called your full name, Matthew, what's your middle name? I know. What is your middle name?
Richard. Matthew
Richard Johnson. You're like, I am so dead. It's either run or fight to the death with mom. Just lay down and die.
Fight to the death. That's right. Yeah. Well, knowing my mom, that wouldn't go very well.
Oh, yeah, dude. So there's a trick that I did. My dad taught me this. When you go to conventions, you know that they sell your shit, all your information from conventions, right?
Yeah.
So
sure.
I just put Grego as my name. So whenever I get something, Grego McDaniel, I'm like, you dick. That's not real.
That is genius. All right, I'm going to start putting Maddie in all my stuff. That way when somebody sends me an email that says, hey, Maddie, we met at the so-and-so conference, and be like, no, we didn't, bro.
Nope.
No, we did not.
Full of dung. Yes,
That's
you
right.
are.
Yeah.
Extra stinky today.
All right. Well, stop you. So you're not a big fan of using people's names in scripts, and you just bypass it completely, and you get right around it.
Yeah, I go right around it. It gives me an opportunity to start asking them questions instead of like, because, don't you? I go on guard when someone goes, "Hi, is this Greg?" I'm like, maybe. Who's calling?
Depends.
Depends.
It might be Grego.
Yeah, it might be Grego. You know what I actually did when my parents were when they were young, when I was younger. When my parents found out, they got really pissed about it, but I thought it was hilarious. They would call the house line, and I would either have the telemarketer. They'd be like, "Hi, is Terrence Lee McDaniel there?" And I'd be like, "I think he and my mom are having sex right now. Could you And they're like, I'm like, I can have them call. Do you want me to go interrupt? I can go interrupt. And they're just like, no, I'll call back. Click. Either that one or
God.
No, they got arrested for embezzlement. They should be away for another 15 years. We're fending for ourselves here as kids. We got rid of the telemarketers, didn't we?
Wow, you have a disturbing and vivid imagination.
But so much fun. Come on. You could literally hear the people take all their breath away. Sorry, my parents are banging like 2 overused cymbals. How are you going to be like, could you see if they're available?
All right.
No.
All right. Well, speaking of lead follow-up, so I was talking with Jenny Williams earlier today. She was a prior guest on the show. If you remember that episode, we talked with her about building your ideal client avatar and all that stuff. That's a great episode, by the way. But we were talking today, and she mentioned that one of the things that she has her agents ask her for a lot is the responses. The first, what do you say when you have an incoming lead? Like, how do you respond to that? That's one of the, I don't know why, but it's one of the biggest insecurities that agents have is what do I say when I get on the phone, pick up the phone when it's a lead calling back. So you want to give people just your standard lead response script if you get like an incoming call, whether it's like an internet buyer lead or something like that.
Sure. Actually, I can actually answer the reason why they get afraid what to say, because in their psyche up here, they're afraid of rejection. So they're afraid to say anything to that person because they don't want to go through the rejection. They're looking for the silver bullet so that they can then get a yes out of them. But then, ironically, 48% of all salespeople never follow up with a lead once because they're afraid of hearing the word no.
Okay.
But the person reached out to you. I mean, isn't that sad? That's the saddest part about it. So, I don't know. One of the things that I get, if I get an inbound, like a hot email or a hot phone call, which one?
Let's do an inbound. I think just an inbound, like email registration on your website where they haven't reached out to you by phone is probably tougher for most people.
Oh, okay. So I do this. I mean, like ring, 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 and Matt, you're my.
Oh, I'm the illustrious guest on the call. I get to role play with the master.
You do bow down and be anointed.
Right. So ring, ring, ring. Hello. Can I be myself?
Yes, you be yourself.
All right.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Matt. My fat wife Julie and our 3 obese babies that are floor denters with little, sausage fingers.
All right. Go ahead. Ring my cell phone.
Hi. Is this Matt?
Oh, I'm sorry. When did I pick up? I don't pick up the phone.
I thought you just said. Oh God.
All right. I asked you if I could be myself, and you were supposed to ring the phone, and then there would be nothing but silence. Okay. So let's assume that I mistook you for someone else. I thought somebody else was calling, and I picked up the phone by mistake. Like, hi, this is Matt.
Hi, Matt. My name is Greg McDaniel. I'm a real estate agent here in the area with J. Rockcliffe Realtors. We just received an inquiry on one of our sites that you had, or you or someone had logged in under, I believe, your name, and it was inquiring about the value of your home on 2261 Maple. Did you take that action a few minutes ago?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, very cool. Hey, so we try to reach back with people as soon as we possibly can, because personally that's how I like to be treated. I like, if I want an answer, I want a human being. I don't want a computer, right? So I just wanted to reach out and see what I could do to answer any questions for you. You guys thinking about selling, refinancing, getting some information for a will? What were you guys doing?
No, we've just been we're thinking of selling. We'd like to get into a different house. Not necessarily a downsize, but just something more for the future. It's not really a move we need to make right now, but just curious.
Okay, not a problem. We actually, you know what? Here's an idea. We actually have a number of buyers, and I'm sure you hear this from everybody, but we actually do have actual buyers that we're working for. Now, you guys are 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom? What are you guys right now? I know you put a 3-2 in. Is there a half bath at all?
No half bath.
No half bath. Do you have like a bonus room or anything that could be used as a 4th bedroom?
Yes, there's a basement room. I don't know that it technically qualifies as a bedroom, but yeah.
Okay. You know what, Matt? Would you be cool if I just came by? It would be like a 10, 15 minutes. Come by. I'll pop my eyes on the property. I can do 2 things with that. I can keep it in my mind. So when I meet a lot of people, right? I mean, open houses and just around town. Keep you guys in mind in case we, did run across the right person for you. I could, accurately describe property. And I can also run some numbers for you. We can email it to you. We'll put you on a once a month drip. Just one email a month, just about the value of your home. So you stay up to date on what's going on. And I'll give you a report you can hand, and you can put in a filing system or use for kindling wood, whatever you want to do. But I'll just be able to give you some real numbers so you can make a decision off of real numbers and not off of what Zillow's telling you, because we all know that Zillow is going to be inflated by some percentage. And is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, if it's just one email a month, right?
Just one email a month, and you could reach out to us anytime if you have any questions or thoughts. Use us as basically like a resource. We want to be here to help you. And the uniquely interesting thing about our team, we have a team of 7 agents, by the way, is that we are blessed to work with so many wonderful families on a yearly basis, that we are 100% client-minded, not commission-minded. So when it's the right time for you, it's the right time. And if it's never, that's fine too. It's not a big deal if your life changes or shifts in some manner. But you know what? I'll come on over. I'll give you some information about us. Get to meet you face-to-face, look at the property, give you the reports, and just kind of see how you'd like to move forward from that point.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, then we set the date and time.
Right. Okay.
But the verbiage I used was specific to not, I have so much business, I'm so cool. We are blessed with the unique opportunity to work with so many wonderful families every year.
Yeah.
And then distinguishing.
Humble bragging.
Humble bragging, yes. I'm only patting myself on the back once with that comment.
That's right.
Instead of repeated it.
That's right. We are blessed to have so many wonderful and amazing podcast listeners.
You are so right, Matt.
That's right.
We are so blessed, Matt. Matt, I agree with you on every part of that.
That's right.
Just
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Matt, what I find, Matt, is that when
and all the listeners are like, and tuning out. Goodbye.
Exactly. Okay. All right. So that's standard lead follow. So there's a couple of things there. Number one, you don't rush much of anything. You don't worry about, like, you actually, I know that you do this on purpose. You sometimes insert little stutters and stuff like that so that you don't come off too polished and too salesy. You just kind of, just more authentic. But I think people, I think the average agent coming up, looking from the outside in, I think one of the reasons why, like, live prospecting through Facebook and stuff like that is catching on is because people want to see what the top producers are doing. But I think the real secret, there are some really good scripts out there, but I think the real secret is that they just fucking do it. And they're confident in what they're saying, and they're not freaking themselves out over, oh, am I using the perfect verbiage here, as if you have to have a silver tongue to be good in sales.
Right. You need to know your product, like anything in sales. You have to know your product. So the home, the market, you have to be educated on it, and you should do this on a daily basis. No, you don't need to be bragging. You don't want a smart ass in there, like in their face, making them maybe feel bad or saying some sort of derogatory comments to them, maybe because maybe their house isn't a 5-bedroom house or whatever else. I don't even know what the hell I'd do with a 5-bedroom house, dude. I think I'd donate each one of the rooms to each of the cats. I'd make them cat-themed rooms.
Okay, all right. I was thinking library, workout room, drum room, piano room, but all right, a room for the cats.
Each get a room. I mean, come on, Bandito can't sleep next to Sudi. We all know this.
Clearly.
He's too damn fat. Wow, little fat face.
For your cats. God, I hope you never move out of that condo. I'm never helping you move into a 5-bedroom house and helping you set up a shrine to your cats.
I'm gonna cut holes through the walls so they can have their own catwalk. It'd be so cool.
Wow.
No,
all right, moving on. Okay.
Never be taking
so let's.
place.
What do you say we do some shout-outs?
I love doing shout-outs, and I just love seeing your face when I said that. You're like, huh?
I just about died. Okay, so first, a quick shout out to Viral Marketing, who are amazing and fantastic, and they do a great job running Greg's East Bay Real Estate Video Blog. So if you have any questions about what they do, like database, educational video marketing to your database to generate repeat and referral business, they truly are awesome. It's one of the best companies I've ever seen or encountered or worked for. Anything like that, just go to gregsmarketingexamples.com. There's a video where Greg explains exactly what they do for him, and then you can get more information through that page. Homing In. Go download it. Go check it out. It's where homeowners can request real home valuation estimates from actual agents. So let's take advantage of the opportunity and not let somebody else create the next Zillow's estimate or whatever and then sell all of our seller leads back to us like Zillow did with buyer leads. How about we use this app and we communicate directly with sellers and we give them actual home valuation opinions and estimates from actual people who actually know what they're talking about to generate actual leads that turn into actual sales and actual clients.
Oh my God, that was a barrage of actuals. That was like hearing my name. I'm like, God.
So Homing In, go check it out on either Apple or Android device, or you can just go to homingin.co if you want to check out the web version. So with all that said,
that was almost kind of like standing next to a spitter. When you know those people that spit when they talk, that was like what you just did. You're like, that was rough. Okay, here. Guys, I don't even have all of your names. Matt is just shaking his head.
It just reminds me of that Seinfeld quote. He's like, nice guy, bit of a close talker.
Yeah, bit of a close talker. But I've had so many of you guys reach out to me, and you guys are just unbelievably awesome people. Thank you. Kirby, dude, thank you for the lead. I really appreciate it. And then Jeff, thank you for the lead. You guys are awesome human beings. So here we go. Tara was amazing. Got her set up. Tom Miller, talked to him early on Saturday morning. He and I just rapped for like an hour. Super cool stuff we talked over. Lori, you're amazing. Bob Stewart, guys. So Active Rain was bought by Ben Kenny. Bob Stewart I bought it in December. And so I'm going to be doing some webinars for Active Rain as well. If you guys aren't a part of that, go check it out. Bob is an awesome dude and puts out seriously cool content for everybody. Daniel Leonard, talked to him today. Super awesome dude. Meg, she was on YouTube. Great comment. Loves the show. Rob Ortiz, got him set up for the McDaniel Challenge. Let's see here. Colin got set up for the McDaniel Challenge. I talked to Kim. Dude, check this out. So Kim, it was my babysitter when I grew up, and then her dad.
She's come back to finish the job and kill you.
Wouldn't you wish? That's Matt's like feeding her like assignments. This is his address. This is his travel schedule. Go.
I don't know so much about kill. I mean, just lightly tap you on the kneecaps with the aluminum bat. I'm really not interested in killing you. I mean, I just need you to be able to sit and do the podcast.
Just sit there and look pretty, asshole. But her dad helped my dad get started in this area. We used to vacation with him. So Kim, awesome, super glad to reconnect with you and do the mommy Uber. Damn it, that's a great idea. Rob Ortiz, going back and forth on text with him, super cool. And then guys, I'm booked. The McDaniel Challenge is booked. My next booking availability is, well, that can't be right. Hold on a second.
I know you just booked your first one in October, so
October 3rd.
Reach out to Greg.
Yeah, so October 4th is my next one, guys. Yeah. So yeah, get on the ball because before you're the December kid, okay?
That's right. Oh man. All right. So Greg's number 925-915-1978. Call or text him, preferably text, and that way you can get something on
Facebook. Yeah, Facebook message me, guys.
Yeah, Facebook's good too.
That's another really good one.
Or Snapchat. Follow you on Snapchat. Follow us both on Snapchat. So I am pursuing results. You are REU444, if I remember right.
Triple fours. Yep, exactly right. I took a break from snapping for some reason. I don't know why. Just because I got so.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't have a phone. That's why I took a break from Snapchat.
I did it voluntarily. You did it because you had to.
Yes, I was forced to.
You were forced to. But I'll tell you one thing. I was totally blown away. By the folks that are following me. Thank you guys for following me. It's awesome that you guys are so interested in my life. It's mundane and boring to me, but you know, Matt had told this morning on Snapchat, I was kind of already pissed, and I was like driving naturally. I put a phone in front of my face, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just one of those moods. Either I want to throat punch somebody, or I just want to go back to bed. I'm not sure which one. And I had 2 or 3 people snap me back or hit me up on messages like, dude, it's cool, man. Don't punch people. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, so that's the kind of quality interaction we get on Snapchat. Go follow him immediately.
Yes.
All right. So what do you say we get into it?
I would love to. You know, Matt, we are actually at 22 minutes into the show. We officially have gone 2 minutes over our 20-minute needed of banter. So now we can talk content.
That's right. Exactly. We do have to have our 20 minutes of BS.
We have to have the 20 minutes of BS.
But in that 20 minutes of BS, we managed to deliver a lot of content about how to follow up the leads and whether to use people's names, Greg, in a script. Greg.
Matt.
All right. So we're talking about 3 things. So the 3 things that most agents have to overcome. And Greg, you've said this for a long time, which is where we got the idea for this particular episode. So it's lack of money, lack of leads, and lack of knowledge. And we're going to show you each of our different perspectives on how to overcome each of those things. So let's start at the top. This is the thing that's obviously most tangible, right? Lack of money. Everybody feels it. Everybody's starting off in the business. So unless you come into it the right way, which is what Greg talks about, which is to have 6 months of
6 months, minimum
6 months of money in the bank, to float you. But even then, that's living expenses. That doesn't mean you have $1,000 to throw into marketing, right? That may just be your living expenses.
Yeah, that's your living expenses. But ultimately, of course, you would want to put like $1,000 or $2,000 towards marketing on a monthly basis to jumpstart your business. I mean, that would be the logical thing. Wait a minute, logic. We're talking about real estate agents, right?
No, yes, exactly. Well, I was going to say, I know real estate coaches, entrepreneurs, authors, consultants, et cetera, that they're not setting aside, like when they start, they have this business over here, but then they start this business over here, and they don't have $500 or $1,000 a month to put into that other business. So we're all, who was it that Elon Musk put everything from PayPal into SpaceX and borrowed money to pay his rent? Yeah, Solar City. Yeah, so we all find ourselves in that position where we're trying to start something, whether it's an entirely new business or it's a side business or it's some venture within our business where we want it to grow, but we're not going to put a bunch of money into lead generation and marketing. So how do you overcome that lack of money?
Well, it's really simple, guys. It's a mindset thing. What you're really doing, if you have a lack of money, you're comparing yourself against the top agents in the marketplace, the ones that have been doing it forever and a day, that have a large budget because they started from the ground up and bootstrapped it up. 99% of the agents, guys, do not come into this with a lot of money. So you're just where you need to be. This gives you the uniquely awesome perspective and opportunity to go be incredibly entrepreneurial. I mean, what are some ways that you can go and do and that are going to cause little to no cash, but yet be able to have a high impact on your business? I guarantee you guys, it's changing your lens. It's changing your focus, the way you're looking at things. A lot of you going, okay, I have no money. I have no leads, blah, blah, blah. Well, you take your happy ass down to fucking Starbucks, sit your ass down. Don't get the cookie, chubby. Just get the coffee. Don't put one of these things in, okay, these earbuds. Sit there. This is the 60-day challenge. 60-day challenge I've talked about. Okay, it's going in there, sitting your ass down, drinking a cup of coffee, and if you're so broke you can't afford that, go buy that white cup that's reusable for like $15. Go fill it up with water, and sit there and drink water. No one's ever going to know the difference unless you spill it. Then you look like an idiot. But you know, again, you just start there and you make friends. Wow, that's a friend in the human flesh? No, say it isn't true, Matt. No, but you really just sit there and you use the Ford system: family, occupation, recreation, dreams. You know what? I'm sitting next to Matt and I see that he has the brand new iPhone. I'm like, hey, Matt, how do you like that new iPhone, man? I think I need to upgrade mine. Did you get the big data or the small data packages? See, bam, now I'm in, now we're talking. Now you can ask questions about the other person, and that doesn't cost you anything. You know, also what you're going to do is you're going to take these handy dandy little advice. You're going to go on to Snapchat. You're going to go on to Facebook. You're going to go on to Instagram, and you're going to post where you're going to be. All right. Hey, guys, just like you can photo just, photo of the Starbucks and maybe a sign, but I'm going to be at this location from 11:30 till 1 doing some work. Come on by, guys. If you would like to come on by and hang out, love to see you guys. Or if you have the fundage, hey, I'll buy you a cup of coffee. Now, the amount of people they're going to come by are slim to none. But then you just get to have an opportunity to have a conversation. So what if they come by, you guys start talking about life, and then it goes into real estate. They're going to ask how the market is. Other people are overhearing the conversation that you're having. Now they're going, wait, real estate, wait. So you're an agent? Yeah, I've been an agent for a while. And the conversation then goes again. Change your locations up as you go, guys. So because there's a lot of people in your town, even if you're like the butterfly, Miss Butterfly or Mr. Butterfly, or just flying all over the place and you think you know everybody. There's thousands of people that do not know you, and they are great human beings, and they probably need your service, some of them, but they just don't know who you are. So go to different locations that you've never been or haven't been in a long time. That will cost you, what is it, $1.99 for coffee? I mean, get the small coffee, for fuck's sake. Just get there, be there, meet people. Drop mic.
All right.
That's what I would do.
All right. I'm going to share 4 things, and I'll go through them quickly.
Of course you would, Mr. Logical.
Yes. All right. So these are all things that cost absolutely no money, but will attract success to you, whatever business you're in. I mean, it works great for real estate, but it also works if you're in any kind of entrepreneurial field. So number 1 is positioning. It literally doesn't cost you a thing to get really specific about who you work with and repel the people that are not that fit and attract the people that are. All right, so I think one of the things that realtors try to do, because they don't have any business and because they don't have leads, they feel like they need to try to serve everybody. But it doesn't cost anything to set yourself up as an expert in a certain area, a certain demographic, a certain neighborhood. Even if you've never sold a home there, just blogging about it, getting on social media, talking about specific neighborhoods, specific price ranges, whatever it is that's going to position you in a certain niche, to serve that niche really well. And then don't be afraid to alienate people that aren't in that niche, because you'll still attract people by the position that you create for yourself. And the people that aren't your ideal client will still be drawn to working with you because you appear to be an expert in real estate, and they'll go, hey, I know that you usually don't work with people like me, but could you make an exception? That's a completely different position than, yeah, I work with everybody. Buyers, sellers, hey, you got some commercial property, I can introduce you to somebody, or I can handle it myself, I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, work in this area over here, work in that area over here. Positioning is very powerful. And I think people lack the understanding of that, how powerful it is. And even if somebody tells them how powerful it is, they don't really believe it, so they never implement it. And then when somebody asks, hey, what do you do? They get this generic answer back of, well, I work with buyers and sellers anywhere within 50 miles. Great. So does everybody in the realtor.
Well, 50 freaking miles, dude.
Dude, in the Midwest, if you deal with less of the traffic problem that you have, 50 miles is a 50-minute drive, and realtors will make that all day long. Wow. All day long.
Dude, 50 miles?
They shouldn't, but they will.
50 miles would put me like halfway to Sacramento.
Yeah.
It would put me down.
You could fly here in the less time.
Oh, God, yeah.
All right, so the next thing, punctuality. So I don't remember who said it, was Dan Kennedy or something, said something to the effect of wealth is attracted to people that show up on time. So that's something very, very simple, very practical that we can all do. Just make sure that you show up on time. When you show up on time, show up prepared, and that will, everything from, like you've noticed this about me, Greg, like when we have appointment to call, when do I call? Do I call 5 minutes early? Do I call 3 minutes late?
15 minutes before.
Shut up.
You overachiever.
When do I call you, Greg?
On the money.
On the dot.
Right. That's, you know, and I do the same thing with my McDaniel challenges. I mean, it's 6, it's 5:59. Wait, 6, go.
That's right. Yeah, we're literally sitting there with our finger on the dial, going, bam, and then we call right on the dot. Yeah, it's just it's one of those things that people, even especially other successful people, look at that and go, okay, he's got his act together. And then if you show up on time and you're prepared, even if, I mean, I had a call the other day where I put in some preparation work based on a little bit of the idea I had of what the call was going to be like going in, and then when I got on the call, I realized that they were taking it in a different direction. But I had at least prepared and had some thoughts down so that they could tell I actually put some mental thought and preparation into the call, and even though the prep work that I put in didn't apply in that case, it still impressed them that I was prepared, and it made them feel like I valued their time and I valued the call, which I do. And wealth is attracted to that preparation.
Actually, I have a really good saying for being on time, and I live by this. And in everything, I mean, I map out my schedules. I know exactly when I'm going to arrive, when I need to leave. I check my maps before I leave, so I know if the times have changed. Because I think it's extremely rude of you to show up late to somebody, because that's saying that your time is more valuable than their time, and that's bullshit. So this is my saying. I say, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, don't bother showing up.
Yeah.
And I try to live by that as much as humanly possible, just because, you know, you wouldn't believe it. Like when I do the calls or when I have a real estate meeting and I show up on the dot, they're honestly blown away. But it's those small things that make you stand out, right?
Yeah. Sure.
And every real estate agent's like, how do you figure out time? It's like, well, sir, it moves in a certain order. No. I mean, I go to Yahoo Maps or Google Maps and I traffic check my stuff. I'll call if I'm 3 minutes behind. I will call my client or that lead and be like, hey, I hit in some unexpected traffic. My deepest apologies. My clock says I'm going to be 3 minutes behind. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. But continue. Right. You have 2 more points, I do believe.
No, that was just positioning, punctuality, preparation, and then 4th is follow-up. Follow-up is just one of those magical things that most people don't put in, you know, especially agents that do have a lot of leads. They will try to spread themselves thin, and they'll try to touch everybody once rather than touching the 10 most important people the 10 times it takes to actually convert them. And I know the touching, fucking, stroking, anyway.
Dripping on.
Dripping on, yeah, exactly. Jeff Loppel loves that. He loves to be dripped on.
I want to drip on your back end.
Oh, great. God.
At least I didn't poke your back end. I mean, that's
wow. Wow. Okay. All right. So here's one more. I'll give you a bonus one. So I like to think of things, and this leads into the next conversation on leads, right? So lack of money and lack of leads are really tied together. I think if you think of things in terms of relationships, I think this is where it will help a lot of people to think of marketing in terms of relationship building. Like, hey, I want more clients. Great. What is the status of your relationships? And so if you think of it in terms of, well, I don't have enough money to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, but is there really money as a way to help build relationships with people? Is there other free ways to build relationships with people? Well, of course there is.
Of course.
You know, so if you're thinking about it and step back from like the marketing, and you step back from, okay, the top producers are putting thousands of dollars into Boomtown or Facebook ads or whatever the case is. Just step back and think in terms of, okay, how can I build more relationships? Because that's really what it comes down to. Top producers have more relationships, better relationships, and they're better at starting new relationships and nurturing them and turning them into better relationships.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And then again, like I said when we first started talking about this subject, you're comparing yourself to the people who've been doing it forever. Stop doing that. Only person you need to compete with is yourself. Where was I today? Where am I going to be tomorrow? Well, what's my progress been? Okay, let's say you had no leads, right? You have no leads. You do some prospecting, you get a lead. 1,000% improvement in your lead generation in that day. Dude, you should go out and celebrate and drink a beer and cheers your friends. Be like, dude, I'm the best real estate agent on earth, man. I got, boom, 1 lead today. Ha, top that one.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, you say that, but I mean, think about it. If you got 1 lead a day, 1 solid lead a day,
that's huge.
that's about 1 to 2 deals a month. In California, that's enough to make a pretty decent living. In the Midwest, you may want to bump that up to 2 to 4 deals a month if you really want to live high on the hog. if you want to make 6 figures a year and have a nice 4-bed, 3-bath home with a 3-car garage, then you need to bump that up and get 2 to 3 leads a day. And it's still not that much. I mean, it doesn't take that much.
No, it doesn't. I mean, but you got to look at your lifestyle and everything else.
Yeah.
Hey, I got Eric is watching us right now, and he said in order of importance and budget, percentage, website, paid lead generation, video, email like bomb/viral, and then Facebook marketing. What say you, Matt?
All right, so run that by me again, because Aaron Wittenstein is messaging me on Facebook as we speak. Go ahead.
I know. He was doing it to me a second ago.
Yeah.
What number? Or if you have no money or anything else, get a good website up there.
Okay.
Number 2 is paid lead generation, which would be the same as Facebook marketing. Video, email like bomb or viral, and then Facebook marketing.
Yeah, I think for any real estate person or for any realtor, I mean, if you don't have a website where people can go and search for homes, it's going to be tough for you to generate leads on the buy side. You can be if you're going to focus exclusively on listing homes, maybe you can get away with a really basic website and or just the website that your brokerage provides. But even then, I wouldn't. I mean, for how inexpensive it is to get a halfway decent website through like Playster and other services, I mean, there's no excuse really not to have one in this day and age. It really hurts your credibility to not have your own and have a good one, at least a good-looking one. And then, I mean, so bomb and viral are worlds apart, but the principle is true. Work on your database and then work out from there. One of the best things that Frank from Viral ever said to me was, you reach out to the people you don't know through the people you already know.
So you could actually, if that was to be true, then you could go and really leverage all of your LinkedIn connections, maybe from a past career or whatnot, because then you can go message them, talk to them, to LinkedIn, say, hey guys, if you know anyone who's thinking about buying or selling, I'm trying to get I want to do 15 deals, 20 deals my first year. Give them a number, get them on board, have them help you, update them as they go, as people go, when it comes to getting your deals done and where you are on your count, kind of like those thermometers that schools use to see how much they're getting on funding. Same type of a thing. So everybody's kind of on your bandwagon cheering you on, and they want to see you like, oh my God, he only needs one more deal. One more, guys, come on. And you're like, I love every one of you. I'm eating bonbons on my couch. What? Some of the stuff here, there's a weird stat, and I'm sure it's changed I'll show you where it's going to move to, but there was a stat in 2013 that 60% of all of the home buyers and sellers would go to a real estate agent's website to kind of check out who they were. In 2014, it dramatically shifted. 77% of all home buyers and sellers went to the agent's Facebook page. Your Facebook page is essentially kind of like a website in its own right, because people can search for real estate through it. You're going to be posting things that are personal, some things that are business. Depends how you want to run your stuff. But I mean, I definitely think that with Facebook Live and where that's going to be heading a little bit, with the Messenger being able to do 15-second messages, 1-minute audio messages, I think that's where a lot of people are gravitating to. Facebook is kind of like a black hole. It's like sucking everything in.
It's trying to be the entire web for people.
And it actually is getting pretty damn close.
Yeah, for anybody over the age of 25, yeah.
Yeah, but then you go into Snapchat and everything. Snapchat's a whole new clusterfuck.
Speaking of Snapchat, did you see the update for Snapchat Memories?
I did. You can save memories?
We'll have to see how that works. But yeah, so Snapchat is giving you the ability to selectively make certain snaps to save them and then be able to like play them back. And I don't know how shareable and how visible it is to other people. I don't know, but it's at least a way to get around the 24-hour disappearing thing, which is part of why it was so popular with teens, but makes it less popular for those of us that aren't putting things out that we are ashamed of, and we actually want stuff to be visible and stored. So anyway,
that would be awesome, because I have the memory of a goldfish, just like everybody else. I'm looking at my snaps. I'm like, shit, what was that last snap?
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about leads. So going back to relationships. So if you don't have, like a lot of people want leads, right? And leads meaning someone that wants to buy or sell a home within the next 6 months. That's great, but if you don't have that, you do at least have relationships, and you can reach out to the relationships and then hopefully generate referrals from there. So there's always a way around not having leads, which is to refocus on the relationships and reach out to people that you don't know through the people that you already do know. One of the things that Jeff Cohn did when he first got into the business was he just listed everybody he ever knew everybody that would know his name on a spreadsheet, and then he just started calling them and offering to take them out to lunch or a meeting or coffee. Mostly it was coffee. So his goal, I think, was like 2 appointments a day. He didn't give a crap whether they needed to sell a home. The intention was, I'm going to meet with you, build the relationship, and I'm going to train you how to send me 2 referrals.
Mm-hmm.
So that, to me, that's a much better approach, and it's proven to work. I mean, he did almost 6 figures his first year and way over 6 figures his second year, and he basically didn't have to spend anything on marketing. He did everything through an Excel spreadsheet, which is exactly the same way Michael Mayer did it for years. You know, everything was done through his Google Calendar. I mean, just super simple, old school stuff. It doesn't take a lot of money. They didn't have fancy CRMs. They didn't have Facebook lead generation. They didn't have Boomtown. They didn't have any of this stuff, and they were able to make it work with just relationships and referrals.
You know, and that is, I mean, that goes back to the 25 business cards that I keep always talking about. Hold on, I want to.
Who was that?
Dick Ward.
Dick Ward. Okay, yeah.
But there's a. Have you heard of Realty Juggler?
Yeah, it's the $99 a month CRM.
No, a year.
Oh yeah. Sorry, a year.
If you guys are looking at it for CRMs and you guys can spend $99 a month and put something not in an Excel spreadsheet, go do it. Go take a look at it. I looked at it. I was fairly impressed by how cool that thing is and what it can do. So,
cool.
I mean, that's like less than Starbucks for like a month for people. I know it's less than Starbucks for you for like a week.
Yeah, $99 a month is maybe that's my monthly Starbucks bill. They should just send me an invoice, and I should be able to go in there and get whatever I want.
Like an old Western back in the days, in the cowboy days, like put it on my tab. Chuck.
Yeah, put it on my tab, exactly. I need to settle up. All right.
Belly up to the bar there, big guy.
That's right. All right, so we've talked about overcoming lack of leads. If you want to dip your toe into generating leads for a low cost, Craigslist is a great way to go. Like, you can get a hold of Jeff Cohn's guy for a few $100 a month, and he can post all the homes for sale in your area to Craigslist and generate buyer leads for you.
I mean, it's not the missed opportunities.
No, it's not the missed casual encounters. No, it's not that. It's in the house section. Thank you very much.
Oh, I saw you walk through the open house. You look like such a great buyer. Oh, if I had talked to you.
Yeah. And open houses are really good. And then backing up your open houses with a little bit of the boost on your Facebook posts. I mean, there's stuff. I mean, we can talk about this at the cows come home. There's pleny of other
Matt,
like
we're not backing
stuff like that.
We're not
how to generate low cost.
There's no cows around here.
That's whatever. You're the one that goes to the gun range. There's got to be cows. There's got to be cows somewhere around in your area. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry. We could go on that till the horses come home. Okay. Let's talk about lack of knowledge.
Yes, actually, you want to know an idea, Matt? We talked about the $5 a day posting. I came up with an idea. I'd like to get your opinion, only if you agree with me, though. And I came up with this idea, and I talked about it the other day, and I want to make sure I cover the right topics on this thing. So, okay, Facebook ads. Everyone's saying do Facebook ads, Facebook ads, Facebook ads. But what does a Facebook ad really do? It's just a stagnant ad that people are going snowblind to Facebook ads, right? So why don't you do this? And I can't wait to try it. I'm going to start doing it, I think, next week. I'm going to make 4 videos a month. You're going to boost each video for 7 days. Now, these are just topics that I came up with. You can do your own. So do one with clients' wants and needs. So the listings you have, the ones that are coming up, your buyers' needs, obviously get their permission to use their names, never last names, only first names. And you boost that out to Facebook for $5 a day. Next week, do something about the community, dog park, walking area, something cool that's going on, so that you can highlight the community where you work. And you also look like you actually know what you're talking about. Then next week, you do a business, a restaurant, small business somewhere in the area, highlighting them. But on that one, you go and you have them. So Matt and Julie own a bakery. That's why their kids are so damn fat. So we're going to talk to.
When did I have time to start a bakery? I have like 3 other businesses. What's going on?
You're an entrepreneur, man. I don't know. What can I say? Yeah, you're a man of many talents. So I talked to Matt, Julie's 3 obese babies with chubby little fingers at Dentwood. And I'm going to say, Matt, how can I help you sell more biscuits? Because damn it, the kids are eating the old ones, and cut that out. And Matt would do that, but he would then post it out for $5 a day to his people as well on his Facebook. So it's like 2 pebbles,
right.
Throw them into a pond. The overlapping ripples are what's going to get a bigger effect. And then the last one, do something in government, a mayor, a city planner, a principal, something, right?
Yeah,
and then the next week,
civic or public official.
Then the people are like, okay, that's great. That's 1 month. Yeah, then repeat in another city, or repeat on a different thing or different person that you can highlight. This thing can go on forever. And it's $5 a day. You're going to get massive interaction, because video is 31 times more likely to be viewed than still photo, than anything else.
Yeah, and even if they don't watch, and this is I was just talking with someone about this today. So the ideal, and it's this way with our podcast and with any type of like content that you put out there that actually requires some investment of time, you know, an hour-long podcast or a 5-minute video, whatever the case is. The great thing about that is when you put that content out there, even if they don't consume the content, they're seeing it scroll across, and it creates the impression that you're everywhere all the time. I mean, we've seen that with you, Greg. You've had not just the connections that we've made in the real estate industry, although that is one of the best parts of doing the podcast, but even for you outside, just in the normal real estate business, to the general public, they're like, dude, you're like everywhere. I see your videos. I see you doing. Well, they don't. Do they actually watch all of your videos? Probably not.
They should. If you're good with them for them. Goodness gracious.
Right. But even if they don't, they see that scrolling across, and it's like, oh, he's busy, he's active, he's doing listings, he's working with buyers, and blah blah blah. And then when they think of real estate, if they have that come up, they think of you, and if they're thinking of working with you, it destroys any issues of credibility, because they've been seeing your stuff scroll by their social media feeds this whole time. It so eliminates any question of, are you a competent and active agent, whatever it is that you do. If you're on social media enough, doing podcasts and videos and stuff like that, it completely removes the question of, are you active and competent and good at what you do. It's just the assumption is you're good at what you do, you're competent, and you're busy. Now it moves on to, are you right for me? And you know how hard it is for most people to cross that bridge? I think people underestimate, like, they believe that they're competent, they believe that they're good at what they do, so they go into a client interaction, and then they try to move to the next step of, well, I'm right for you. And the client's sitting back there going, I don't even know if you're freaking good at what you do. I don't even know if you're qualified to be sitting in front of me telling me what I should do with my house or how to find me a house. We assume that they believe that we're competent. And I think the more content that you put out there, the more it removes that objection. And then you can get to the next step of, let's see if we're a good fit together.
100%. I mean, they need to be the right fit, and you're interviewing them simultaneously. I mean, I tell people this, and I actually had to grow some big ass brass balls to do this. But I actually went into a listing appointment. And I said, you know what, guys, I appreciate you coming over, or let me come over today and talk with you. You know, this is going to be a mutual interview. I want to make sure that you're the right client for me, and I'm the right agent for you. Is that okay with you? You should have seen their faces. It was like, the fuck's going on here? I thought I was interviewing him. Wait, I'm not good enough? Oh, hell no, you're hired. I'm like,
that's right.
Bitches got you.
Yes.
Okay, so a couple things here really quickly. Eric, I'm glad you like I'm getting asked questions. Eric, I'm glad that you like the weekly idea. Try it, get back to me, stay in touch. I want to see how it works out. And then, hold on, I gotta get over here. Dude, I think it's Juan, Juan. That's Juan, right? Yeah. I hope so. Okay, so here's the question, Matt. I know how to answer it. I want to see what your answer is.
Okay.
Questions for the show. How can we better convert buyers and internet leads? I find I call them back fast, then send them my IDX listings, and then have difficulty converting into appointments, or they stop responding to my calls, drips after a few days. These are mostly Zillow buyer leads. Matt, you go first.
Okay, so the experience of the flagship team for Jeff Cohn in Omaha, what we've seen is that internet leads take 150 to 180 days to convert. They really took their time, Jeff and Kevin, his operations manager, did, to really write out really, really good drip sequences. I was actually just talking with them about potentially releasing those to the public, either partially or in full as like a paid, I don't know how much we charge for it, their drip campaigns, but essentially, you have to have good drip campaigns. Yes, it's extremely important to get back in touch with them as quickly as possible and start the relationship. But the intention of that is not just to send them like the listings. It's to get them set up on a drip for listings that fit their criteria, and then you send them an automated campaign. Yes, that's like your baseline. But then you're also keeping in touch with them through personal phone calls and texts every week or 2 weeks or every month, depending on what their time horizon is. So if they tell you we're not looking for 6 months, then you just keep in touch with them with a personal reach out once a month, and you keep them on the drip. If they're like in the 3 to 6 month, you kind of estimate, shorten up that estimate, and they're probably ready to do something in the next few months. So call them every couple weeks. What their team in Omaha is really good at doing is just meeting with the agents one-on-one and going through all of their leads that they have in the back end of Boomtown and just questioning, hey, have you followed up with this person? Well, no, they're kind of not really, just if you wonder, should I call them? Stop wondering and call them. So and that's something Andy, the success manager, says. He's like, a lot of the agents will come to me and they're like, should I? Yes. But should I? Yes. If you're thinking about it, yes. So, and I know that's hard. It's easy to say and it's easy to dispense out as advice. It's hard to do in practice. I get that. Like, I have just as much issue as everybody else. I don't want to take value from people. I don't want to feel like I'm taking people's time. I don't want to feel like I'm bothering people. But
they asked for it.
They
asked for it. I mean, it's not like you're walking around and you guys walk down the street and punch you in the face. That's not going to feel good. You didn't ask for that. But if you stepped in a ring with me and we're boxing, okay, you're asking to get punched in the face. This is what happens. You put yourself in certain situations. I don't know why I went with that.
That's right. So you contact Greg and you're asking to be punched in the face. That's
right. But again, what I found, and then if you guys are watching any of my Facebook Live things, by the way, guys, subscribe to me on Facebook if you haven't already. If you're watching the replay, anyone who's watching it live right now, I'm at 5,000, unfortunately, and I'm offending people on a daily basis, so I'm dropping off and I'm adding new friends. It's kind of fun. It's like, I offended someone. But what I would definitely say is go watch this stuff, because I'm calling old internet leads, like a year old. Guys, I've set 3 CMAs from a year old internet leads. Think of those as kind of like a wine. When they start off, they're kind of a shitty wine. They taste like crap because they haven't been aged, but you put them in the right barrel and the right time frame and the right temperature and everything else. So temperature is going to be, don't hassle them. The right barrel is going to be the right drip. Right time frame is just watching their reaction and interaction. And dude, it was just like appointment. And I was expecting a bloodbath. I mean, I was expected to get my ass handed to me, and they're like, oh yeah, I'd love for you to come over. Thinking about selling $1.2 million and buying $1.5 million. I'm like, okay. I like this. And I wasn't publicly shamed, which was always a bonus.
Good.
Holy Christ, Matt. Look at the time, dude.
I know. We've got just a few minutes left. So let's talk about lack of knowledge. We talked a lot about lack of money and lack of leads. So lack of knowledge, I don't think, and you may disagree with me on this.
Of course I will.
Yes. I don't think the problem is lack of knowledge, but let's address that quickly. There is plenty of knowledge out there. Just in the back episodes of Real Estate Uncensored that you could binge on. There's pretty much everything you need to know to be successful in real estate, and we're not the only podcast out there. So, I mean, you can go listen to Super Agents Live, you can go listen to Real Estate Rockstars with Pat Hyben, and there's others like Joshua Smith's, and there's a bunch. At this point, there's a bunch of really good ones out there, and they're all interviewing top agents and successful new agents that have made a splash in the first couple of years of business. There's a lot of knowledge out there. That's just on YouTube and podcasts. That doesn't even count audiobooks on authors' websites. It doesn't count the library where you can go and get actual physical books for free. They let you walk out of the building with physical books for free. So knowledge to me is not the problem. And we talked about this, on other episodes. I mean, if you want knowledge of a neighborhood, there's Neighborhood Scout, there's HomeSnap, and all this stuff.
Yeah, no, but it actually takes people to do it. They have to do it. They have to be.
But why don't they take action on the knowledge? To me, it's not lack of knowledge. There's a lot of knowledge out there. I don't see people taking action on knowledge because they don't have clarity. There's so much knowledge, there's so many options that they don't know, I could do these 10 things. What's the one thing that I'm going to do? And they have a hard time kind of narrowing that down and figuring out what the right thing is for them. So to me, it's a problem of lack of, it's not lack of knowledge, it's more lack of clarity.
Well, that goes back to writing your goals down and understanding where you want to go, so you can actually have a game plan and a plan. You go into football, which I don't know nothing about. That's the one with the ball and the hoop and the basket and that whole shit, right?
Yep.
Or is it the stick? Or is it the stick on the ice with the black puck? That's football. I think that's foosball.
Yeah.
And Billy Madison. Now, was that Billy Madison? No, I don't forget what movie.
The Waterboy.
Waterboy. Yes, he's playing the foosball.
That's right.
But you don't go to any sporting event like foosball without a plan. I mean, no one walks into an arcade without a game plan on that foosball table, ever. No. Seriously, football, boating, anything else. You know where you're going. You have a plan to execute. Same thing in real estate, but most of the agents don't do that because I don't know if they're afraid of the outcome, if they just treat it. Maybe it's because a lot of agents treat it like a hobby, and so I can work for myself. It's like permanent recess for kids. Like, oh, no boss, no teacher. This is amazing. Yeah. And then you don't get to eat lunch, and then you get left out in the cold, and then the rain starts, and then you got to find a place to live, and you live in a little box, and then you get dirty and smelly, and then the other kids don't want to play with you. Yeah. It's just really a bad thing. They start using meth. I mean, it's just a bad cycle.
All right. Well, I mean, here's the deal. If you treat real estate as a part-time gig, you'll make a part-time income. I mean, that's how it works. You'll do if you're just a nice, friendly person, you have a pretty good database, you go out to lunch and coffee regularly with people, you'll get 6 to 12 deals a year. Mm-hmm. And that's in most cases, especially in the Midwest, that's strictly a part-time income. That's not enough to support your family. If you're in San Francisco or something where it's a really high price point, and then you don't live in the city, you may be able to get by on that. But if you put part-time hours, you get part-time income, and that's common sense. So the question is, for those of us that want to do more and want to make more, like, what's the next step? I think that's where people struggle, is they've decided, I want to do more than just make part-time income, but what's the next steps on how to get out of that and start making a full-time income in real estate?
You need to educate yourself and do it as much as possible. If you're driving from showings, you listen to podcasts or listen to books. If you're walking your dog, listen to the podcast, our podcast. You binge on us, guys. Seriously, this is the shit that everyday agents are doing. Okay, yes, I'm patting my own back, but we are talking about stuff that you can go do right now at no cost or low cost. I'm not playing around. But fill the gaps in your day with information, and just start. You will see this thing snowball very, very quickly. Josh Bryan, going to give you a shout out, buddy. Boop. That's what he did. He watched our show almost from the very beginning, and it's not just us. It was Joshua Smith. It was Brian Casella. It was a few other guys, and Matt and myself. He attributes a lot of what he is doing today as success because he picked up the tips and tricks that we were all putting out there. Juan, you did a GIF of just making it rain. That's awesome, dude. I wish I could show you this. It's awesome. But educate yourself, guys. That's what I did. I mean, I sat here, and I mean, these are my dreams and my goals. I mean, I researched the snot out of these things. I dug deep on them. If I had an idea, I wanted to know everything about it. So go after it. That if within a year, if you read for 1 year on one subject matter or listened to or whatever on subject matter, you would have the equivalent of a PhD in that information, because average person has a 25-minute commute to work and from work. Well, we're real estate agents. We drive all the time. So imagine how many books you go through on negotiation, sales, tactics, mind manipulations, whatever you're into. You freaky little people, you. Well,
yeah. Well, the knowledge gathering, it's easy now to make that a habit in your life because of things like podcasts and YouTube and stuff like that. But I think it eventually comes down to the point where you're going to have a lot of options to choose from, and at some point you just have to decide, and you have to decide on a course of action. So here's a framework or an idea to make that easier on yourself, and that is to run them as experiments. Craig, I don't know what you're laughing at. Fine, you're not even paying attention.
No, not at all, because Josh Bryan just texted me. He's like, that motherfucker interrupted my shout out.
What?
I was giving Josh a shout out about what he did, and then I saw the GIF and I started laughing.
Nice. All right. Anyway, so run your stuff as experiments. Just decide on a time frame, decide on a tactic that you're going to try, and just pick a specific time period that you're going to try it out, and just run it as an experiment, see what the results are, and if it doesn't work, you move on to something else. So everything doesn't have to be the end of the world if it doesn't work. You don't have to commit to something long term. Just decide for how long you're going to commit to it, and commit to it for that time. Don't say, I'm going to try something, have no time frame, give it a month or a week, or what, you have no idea how long you're going to give it, and then just try it out, and whenever you feel like quitting it, you quit it. So pick more of a specific time frame and say, I'm going to try this tactic for this amount of time, and we're going to see what the results are. So if you just, that will make it easier, I think, to get, to kind of narrow things down and not be overwhelmed by all the choice and all the options and all the tips and tricks and tactics and all the stuff you could do, and just narrow it down to, well, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Because if you're doing one thing, actually doing it is way better than thinking about doing 15 things.
No, actually, I 100% do one thing, guys. End of story. Do we got to package this thing up? We're at bingo.
Yeah, we're at bingo.
McDaniel challenge, do it. Get off the fence. Stopping yourself. Help me. I'm going to help unfuck you. Okay. Hashtag unfuck yourself. And if you're stopped, and you can't get past a certain point, mindset, marketing, whatever else it is, guys, take advantage of this. I'm not kidding around. I mean, October 4th is my next opening. Guys, when this starts picking up, and it's going to pick up, you literally might be booked out till next year. I'm not kidding. I mean, so I mean, I'm offering you guys free stuff. Please take it. 925-915-1978. Again, 925-915-1978. Get off your ass and call me. Oh, Matt, I got a bunch of text messages from people I think actually took my advice. How cool is that? People like me.
All right. Well, before Greg gets his head too big to walk out of his own office, let me just remind you to check out two things. Number one, viral marketing. Go to gregsmarketingexamples.com. Watch the video where Greg describes what they do for him and how they pull, repeat and referral business out of his database, and then you can request more information from there. And then homing in, make sure that you check them out. There are basically homeowners requesting valuations from agents just like you. So there may be essentially free seller leads waiting for you because the app is free for everyone to download, and homeowners are finding it faster than agents in their area. So go check that out either on the Apple Store, your Google Play Store for your Android device, or you can just go search for Homing In and find the web version. So with that being said, we've covered all of our bases. Subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher. Follow us on everything. I am Pursuing Results on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. On Snapchat, you are REU444. And then on Facebook, you can follow him, Greg McDaniel. He's the one in the Bay Area in Danville, California, or Walnut Creek.
Devilishly good-looking one. Just look for me.
Sure. For anyone that's listening to the audio version, Greg is a liar. All right, with that, guys, we will bid you adieu. We have a great interview coming up on Friday with Kirby Scarratt, one of the top guys in Minneapolis. He's a phenomenal team leader, obsessive about tracking his numbers, so he's got a lot of cool stuff to share. So we'll see you guys Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific.
Love you guys. See you then.